Welcome to Inspire Her on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station broadcasting from the School of Eloquence right here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I'm your host, Onome Gugu, and this is the space where women come to learn, grow, and be inspired to live with purpose and inner strength. And today's conversation is a call to action for every woman who feels they are ready for the next level but isn't quite sure how to get there. Our topic: accelerate your progress, taking your seat at the table. And we often hear about waiting for an invite, but true progress comes to those who recognize the value they bring and aren't afraid to claim their space. And today, we are discussing how to move from the background to the center of influence. And joining me for this powerful conversation are two amazing leaders. Madam Esther Evbodaghe, a finance professional and mentor who champions purpose-driven living and helps women navigate the complexities of career growth. We also have Madam Ngozi Ochuba, a pharmacist, wellness advocate, and coach who teaches women how to lead with balance and intentionality. Together, we'll uncover the strategies you need to pull up your chair and make your voice heard. All right, so welcome to this beautiful conversation on Inspire Her. And today we're talking about accelerating your progress. We have Madam Esther and Madam Ngozi as usual, and they're all looking beautiful as usual. How are you?
Very well.
Very well, thank you.
All right. And today we are talking about positioning, influence, working hard, and it's going to be an amazing conversation. Now, let's start from Global Report. According to Global Report, we understand that a lot of women are represented in the workforce. A lot of women are entrepreneurs, but not many of them are positioned in positions of influence. And that's what we are talking about today. So, beyond working hard, beyond doing all the dirty jobs, how can women position themselves in a place of influence rather than just working in the background?
Thank you very much, Onome. This topic is very interesting, and I particularly like it because we are talking about accelerating progress. And I believe that it is time for every woman, to take up space and accelerate progress. And this is a wake-up call to every woman. You see, it's good for every one of us to work hard, but the truth is, working hard is not sufficient. Yes, if you want to move from a position of the background rather to a position of free influence, you need to be visible. That's the truth. If you want to gain influence quick, you need to be visible. And to be visible, it requires some major shift. Shift from just doing the work this time to owning the impact. From effort to influence.
Yeah.
Yes. And you see, if you are hardworking, you will be noticed quite all right, and it is honorable. But the truth is, hard work alone does not give you influence. Strategy will position you. Visibility will get you invited. Value will get you seated. Voice will keep you there. But accelerating progress requires a major shift, and that shift must be intentional. So it is a shift from doing the work to owning the impact. You see, in many organizations, just like the men, most women are the backbones of those organizations because they are good on the job, they are efficient, they are reliable, and they are indispensable. You see, but they do not have influence. And this is not about competence, mind you. Just like their male counterpart, they are very good, they are competent, but they don't have influence. Because influence does not come from just being busy. Influence comes from visibility. So if you want to move to a position of real influence, you need to be visible. You have to document your results. I keep saying something. You must be your greatest cheerleader. Showcase your results. Document your achievements. Quantify your contributions. And attach your name to your success. So that way, people begin to, notice you.
And see what you've done.
And see what you have achieved for yourself. So you must learn to celebrate your own success because nobody will sing your praise if you don't sing it by yourself.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to twist the question a bit for Madam Ngozi. Same question, but I'm taking it from the angle where she said influence, and positioning. So we have people who take certifications and they go on LinkedIn. Oh, I just completed this course. Oh, you understand? Congratulations, and the rest of them. You do something in the office. You're going to your boss. I just completed this, so that the boss notices you. You've also put it up on LinkedIn. Is this positioning or is it eye service? Okay, because we're saying, oh, the individual is working hard, right? And we're talking about position so that people see what you have done over time. So it's not like it's just somewhere in your archive and nobody knows what you've done in terms of certification, in terms of things that you have done and achieved. So do we start announcing what we have done? We go on LinkedIn, we go to our boss, wherever we go to, we just keep talking about it. How then do we position ourselves? Because now we're talking about positioning. What's the right way to position ourselves to ensure that it's not like like eye service, let me use that word. It's not like eye service, but I'm putting myself in a strategic way that people actually appreciate what I've done.
Okay, thank you, Onome. Yeah, this is a very interesting angle of it. Eye service really, for me, I think it's when you're making a lot of noise that really does not align with the value you're bringing. For me, that is eye service. Because some people they're all over the place, they are making all the noise, they are seen. But when you really come down to the nitty-gritty, you find out that they are not really contributing as much as it looks like they are putting out there. And again, if you are really doing the work, and you're really improving yourself, I personally don't think there's anything wrong for you to, bring it to the open. Men do that. We women, we have a problem of always being silent. Women have a culture of silence.
That's true.
And that is what holds us back. When we talk about visibility, we're talking about your voice.
All right.
If nobody is hearing you, and if people don't know what is okay, it's like there's something to explain to me. They said, like, if you are in the dark and you are winking,
nobody
will know that you're winking.
Yeah.
Nobody notices you, but
Yeah.
you're winking.
Yeah.
You're doing something. So sometimes you really need to come to the light, and you don't need permission. When we talk about accelerating progress, it's for a woman not waiting anymore. You understand? For permission to grow. For example, somebody that is working very hard in the background. Most women are very hard workers. Women work hard, They do the work. They are busy. Like I said, they are usually silent. And hard work will earn you respect. Hard work, people know you bring in value. But when we talk about influence, real growth, taking positions of influence, you understand? It has to do with strategy.
All right.
You have to strategize, you have to be visible, and your voice should be involved. There is nothing wrong, like I said before, putting out your work there, but it depends on how you do it. You have to be strategic. So this is how it should be. First, a woman should decide. You understand? There should be clarity. What problems do I want to be known for solving? So you have to know exactly the kind of contribution you want to make. What seats do I want to occupy on the table? So you position yourself properly. You can't be all over the place. That's when we talk about strategy. So when you have clarity and you've decided on what you want to do, then of course competence matters a lot. If you decide you want to be known for solving a particular problem, you should actually be able to do that. That's competence. Then when we talk about competence, of course, people would admire you. People will see you can solve those problems. So that is where courage and voice comes in. That is where visibility comes in. So you cannot, courage is what will help you, position yourself properly, will help you take your seat at the table, will help you make contributions at meeting, will help you give insights. You have to be able to do all that. You don't just do the work and stay at the background. Yes, that's fine. Hard work is good, but it's not enough. So the impact you make, You know, the insights you bring, speaking up at meetings, bringing solutions when problems are there, speaking it out, you know, lending your voice in meetings, you know, taking your position at the table is what will give you that influence.
Okay. Now we're talking investing in women, okay? So when we talk about investing in women, how can we overcome the need basically to be 100% perfect?
You see, investing in women is not about being 100% perfect. You know, if we want to truly invest in women, we have to kind of remove that belief that we must be 100% before we can step forward. Because most women believe that they must tick all the boxes before they can step forward. But that is not true. So for us to invest in women, we must be able to redefine what investment is. Because when we hear investment, most times, our mind is always on funding. But investment is courage. The courage to step forward and do something. And investment is internal. So if you look at some women like Oprah Winfrey, these women, before they became known, they were not perfect, but they stepped forward.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to invest in other women, you must define what investment means. Investment is not all about capital venture. It's not all about funding or financial banking from firm. Investment is courage and it is internal. So you have to be convinced within yourself before you can step forward. So you need to change that orientation that says you must tick all the boxes. You must be polished before you can speak. You must be fully validated before you can lead. So you must take that bold step, you know. That is the way to go.
Okay.
So that's what I'll say.
Yeah. Ngozi?
Yeah, in addition to what Madam Esther has said, you know, the angle I want to take you from is the part where she said women wait to tick all the boxes. And, you know, that is actually procrastination. You know, that is what it is. When you keep waiting to be 100% okay, it's just procrastination, and the reason most of the time, it's fear. You know, women keep saying, let me wait, instead of stepping forward. You see that panicky attitude. Let me wait, let me get one more certification. I may not be good enough. I'm not qualified. I don't think I have the confidence to do it now. So it's actually fear. Fear of stepping forward, fear of being seen, fear of failing publicly. So many fears, and women have to be bold and move and step forward, just like she said. You don't wait to be 100% perfect. Most men, research says that most men take it on. They move on once they are 60% ready. But women are laid back, waiting to be ready. And sometimes they never get to be ready. And while women are waiting to be ready, while you are waiting to get all the certifications, while you're waiting to really be confident to step up, you know, people less qualified, people that don't even have what you have, but because they have courage, because they are visible, they lead you. And true. Then you start becoming frustrated.
Yes.
You refuse to step forward. You refuse to take your place. You refuse to own your voice. So that's what happens most of the time. So what should women do? Start where you are. Just like she said, she mentioned Oprah Winfrey. There's no perfect person. There's no that person that knows everything. Women, start with what you have, where you are. We hear it all the time. You learn on the job. You learn on the job. You know, progress aligns with movement, not redundancy, not stagnancy, not being laid back. As you move, if you keep moving, you know, they said you keep learning as you progress, and your influence expands. But if you're laid back and waiting for the right time may never come. By the time you're ready, the train has left.
True. All right, start where you are. We need to go on a short break. When we come back, we will continue this conversation. Do stay with us. how can we make our wins and contributions more visible for people to see, so that our works are basically recognized?
And I mean, the truth is that progress is not about doing so much work, but it's about ensuring that the work that we do is seen, valued, and understood. You see, most professionals are very good on their job, but most times they don't showcase their job. Some of them feel that showcasing their job may appear boastful. So they are so busy working very hard, and they are so good, but their work is not seen, it's not visible. So what is important there is that you must understand that visibility is not vanity. So when we have that mind shift, then we'll begin to understand that for you to, your job, what you do to be valued, it has to be seen by people, understood by people. So that is one. Then you must translate what you are doing, translate your activity into impact or value. Finally, document your results. It's very important. Document your achievements. Make sure that you keep a running record of projects delivered, revenue influenced, and ensure that all your achievements are well documented. So that way you are good.
And what she said really just reminded me of something very common with advertising agencies. So you see them advertising companies, different brands, but one thing that they fail to do, majority of them, I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them fail to advertise their own brand. So you see them pushing or putting all the energy behind the scene. They are working on several brands, but if you go to their own social media platform or LinkedIn pages, you find out that there's nothing happening there because they are busy working behind the scenes. And it's just like what she said. So we are busy working in our offices, doing so many things, but nobody knows. You go to your social media platform, your LinkedIn, probably you updated 5 years ago, right? You understand? On social media platform, nothing is happening. So some people will be wondering, like, okay, what does Madam Ngozi do, or what does Madam Esther do? Because she doesn't talk about it.
You're very right.
She goes to, you go to her Facebook page. Maybe she only posts on her birthday, right? They only see your birthday post, and you're like, okay, what does she do? Because nobody knows what you do. So how do you then position yourself? Okay. So let's hear Madam Ngozi.
Yeah, what you said is really true, and it happens with a lot of women. You know, a lot of us, most of the time, we take our achievements for granted. We downplay it. We think it's nothing, it's no big deal. Am I the first person to have done this? No, that is really wrong. You know, we downplay our achievements, some of us, and just like you mentioned, sometimes we always a mind thing. We think it's boastful to start announcing that, you know, letting everybody know what I've done, what I have achieved. It's not actually being boastful. If you've really done it, then you've done it. They say if you do it and you don't record it, there's no data, it's as good as you've not done it.
No proof.
No proof that you've done it.
That's right.
So if women have this behind their mind, or if they have this on their mind, they need to be intentional. So there's nothing wrong with, you know, promoting yourself. That's called self-promotion. Women think that being promoting yourself is like, we struggle with it, that it is not just normal, you know, come to talk about myself. But it depends on how it's done. If you do it the right way, you achieve something, there's nothing wrong in putting it out there and attaching your name to it, because the truth is that if you don't, somebody else will, and they will do it in a way to take the credit and not you.
Yes, and you become bitter, you become hurt. Like, how come this individual is progressing and more knowledgeable than them, but they are out there? How come they are being recognized? Because they spoke about it, they talked about it, they published it.
Yesterday I was listening to a webinar, and the woman was giving her life story where she was in a meeting and something came up, and she had that aha moment. The idea just came that this should be the solution. But she wasn't courageous enough to stand up and say it. So she whispered to the person beside her, if we could do it this way, do it that way, I think we would, the company will get the solution they're looking for. Immediately, the person stood up and said it, and she stole the limelight, the hand clap, you know. Everybody was like, wow, she's so smart. And she said she was sitting there eating herself off. You know, she felt so bitter. But she was the one who was waiting for permission.
Yes, yes.
The woman decided to give her own self permission for a job she didn't even do. And she stole the limelight. So next time, if something comes up in that office and they need people to strategize and think, they will pick her first.
So as we wrap things up, how can we ensure that we pull other women up using our own growth story or growth process to ensure that accelerating progress is possible for every woman?
The truth is, there comes a moment in every woman's life where she realizes that she no longer needs permission to sit at the table. So the real power there is not just pulling that seat at the table, but it's in pulling up more chairs for other women to sit. So the way to pull other women up as you grow is to, for instance, if you are invited to speak, share the mic. If you are handling a project, spotlight other emerging talents. You know, so wherever you are, just understand that in every area that you are growing, spotlight women and pull them along with you. So that way, your growth is not just personal. It becomes, how do I put it this time?
Like team effort?
Yes. So your growth begins to affect other women. So until you get to that point, you can't really say you have impacted lives. So when you grow emotionally, spiritually, and then financially, your growth is access to so many things. Access to doors, access to information, access to influence, power, and so on. But the big question is, what are you doing with that access? So until that access becomes leverage, where you can now begin to pull other women, then you have not done anything. So you must understand that if you are giving a promotion in your place of work, it is not just about title. That promotion must affect other women. If there is a rise in your business or an increase in your income, you should not just be thinking for yourself alone. You should be thinking of how it affects every other woman around you. So what is important is that you must ensure that you don't just sit at the table. You ensure that no other woman within your circle is standing. So ensure that you pull up seats for every other woman to sit. So don't stay there guarding the doors, and normalize collaboration over competition. Because I keep saying it, women no longer compete, women collaborate. So ensure that you pull other women as you rise.
All right.
So that's what I'll say.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, in addition to what Madam Esther has said, she's spoken very well on this. Yeah, women no longer compete, right?
Yes,
we collaborate, which is very important. The mindset, you know, we always talk about it on this program. That mindset of scarcity is what keeps women divided. So women, we have to get rid of that. Collaboration is the way. And like she said, share opportunities. If you've grown, if you're in a position of influence, you know, you're at the table, that is where opportunities are shared. So that is where you see, you know, opportunities. You should be able to share to the upcoming ones. Then you should also recommend those other women that are still not up there. Recommend them. Recommend them like they are your brand, you know. Recommend them strongly. Say, I know somebody that I'm sure can deliver at this. Bring her in. Let her join you at the table. Then, you know, just like she said, when you rise alone, yes, that's success. When you rise and you rise alone, you're successful alone, that's good. But when you pull other women up as you rise, it's not only success, it becomes a movement.
Right.
All right, and it becomes a movement. And that's how we wrap the conversation today, talking about accelerating your progress. It's not competition with other women, but we collaborate to lift others up. Thank you, and thank you so much, Madam Esther and Madam Ngozi, for joining the conversation.
Thank you for today.
See ya. Bye. What a beautiful session we just had. We've learned today that the table isn't just a physical place, it's a mindset. You belong in the room and your perspective is needed to drive real change. Don't wait for permission to be great. Take your seat. And a big thank you to our guests, Madam Esther and Madam Ngozi, for that beautiful time spent. Don't forget to follow us on our social media channels at Achievement Channel and use the hashtag We See Possibilities. I'm Onome Egungun again, and do have a beautiful day.
Hello, Achievement Channel. Thank you so much for having me talk with you. Hello. Hooray, Achievement Channel. Lovely to meet you folks. Keep the good work going. All the best.
Hey, this is Habiba Balogun, Chair of the 11th Champions of Talent Development Conference by Learning and Development Network. Shout out to who? The Achievement Channel.